'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from funding you, baby. Don't you know that there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from funding you, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now, introducing the number one real estate agent on Long Island, Justin Soriano.
The crowd goes wild.
Justin,
How are we?
Soriano.
How's it going?
From the O'Neill team, right?
From the O'Neill team, from Signature Premier Properties. Very, very happy to be in the building today.
Happy to have you.
Yeah, we're very
Definitely
happy. to have
Yes, always a good time here at Lexington Capital Holdings. Love coming to visit the boys in the office. It's always highest energy, even from 8:30 in the morning when these guys.
you. We gotta talk about that at some point.
Got bunk beds back here because they're working harder than anyone else out. They really are overdoing it and really just outworking the competition. So props off of that.
This introduction's for you. Talk about
Talk about yourself.
Hey,
come on. I've known you
Gotta
for a
get my
long
flowers,
time.
but a little bit about me. I'm a real estate agent. I've been doing this for the past 4 years since I graduated college. Started at 21 years old. Now 26, or no, 22. So yeah, it's been really great ride. 4 years. Me and Appio used to work together too at Signature. And it's been really a great ride, especially coming from, 2020 where, houses used to cost you can get a nice house for around $400K. Now times have really changed and that's not the case anymore. And to live on Long Island, it really does take a lot. So it really is a roller coaster, the whole market, everything. But it's been a really good career for me. I won YPN Top 20 Under 40 in 2022. One of the number one things I wanted to do when I did real estate. I also run my own networking group, North Shore Young Professionals, where these guys are some of my top entertainers there, top people who always show up and support and sponsor everything. So can't thank them enough. It really is. The reason I started the group, honestly, is to meet people like you guys, and that's where it is that we really met. Was our first event in 2020 when everyone came out, and I think just networking in all different kind of industries can help so many different people, and I'm glad you guys are so cool that you're open arms to everyone, just like I was. And from day one, we've always been cool like that. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've known you for a good amount of time now. When I first joined the O'Neill team with you, and I was with Signature Premier, I'll tell you what, I thought that you were in real estate for much longer than you actually have been.
Thank you.
You were one of the most knowledgeable guys in the office, even one of the most young guys in the office.
That's what it was, man.
I came to you for a lot of my needs when I first started.
And I was always, even to this day, I'm always helping the newer kids and everything. And then you were able to grow so much too, which was awesome. You're still in real estate, which is great. But yeah, man, it's been a ride.
I'm definitely taking a back seat on the real estate. I closed on a property not too long ago. I'll take it, but we've been real busy cooking up over here. So
I know, bro. I see you guys.
I gotta send some referrals your way.
Nah, man. We'll all work together. That's what matters.
Justin's North Shore Young Professional events, they're amazing. It's really a great time. I mean, just the networking mixed with just the good time, the camaraderie, the environment. I mean, every single time it just gets better, the shows. So we really appreciate you always having an open arm to Lexington, because you really do. You're always hitting us up first. You know what I mean? And I know we always put the entertainment out for everybody. We love having a good time, to say the least.
And I know you guys are always with it, always down. It's great.
Especially the cause too. That night we raised a lot of money for a very good cause.
Hey, what was the cause? What was the cause?
Yeah. So from the beginning, we did our first charity event, the Stereo Garden. We did that with Smithtown Children's Foundation. That was just starting off. We raised $5,000. Then we did another event with them. After we did a wine tasting, and that raised another $5,000. And then we were able to do one with Life's Work at the Water's Edge. We raised $25,000. That's probably it's funny because that's so fun. Like going to the fan stuff, and then it's like, all right, the next one, Napper Tandy's just as fun. Like totally night and day, but it's always a good time.
Everybody doesn't know Water's Edge is one of the most beautiful catering halls here on Long Island.
Right on the water, it was really special.
Water, brand new,
that actually was kind of one of the funnest
ones because I came with the idea of doing bottle service for charity, and that's kind of what we did. So we sold, I swear, we sold about 10 tables to different companies, and we raised $25,000 with that. But that's how it was. I bought the champagne. Everyone got their own section. Because think about it, you go to the club in Miami or whatever, you're paying $4 or $5 grand. I'm like, why can't we be putting this money to a good cause instead of going to Liv's pocket? You know? Yeah. So that was kind of the idea. And then we did one for mental health awareness, James's Journey. Great guys, great charity. We raised about $45,000 or so. We had one very big, generous donation, $25,000 to help us get there. And then our last one was just October, and we did that for Leukemia Lymphoma Society. We raised over $10,000 for them for the Light the Night Walk, which is awesome. Yeah.
That's my girlfriend's favorite charity. She does that walk every single year.
Yeah, the walk, it was beautiful too. Like the walk in itself, it's like and you see all the lamps and the lights. It was really like moving and cool to be a part of that. And all these charities, honestly, like it really started out not only for business. It was a little 50-50, you know, truthfully. You know, I wanted to meet new people, but I always wanted to put something behind this. I was always going to these different networking events, and I'm like, what am I doing? Or it's just like all realtors, and I'm like, I want to connect with people in different industries, talk to people with different ideas. How can I use what they're doing in my business? So that was always a big part of the goal too. So it kind of just took off from there. It's really been crazy. It's pretty lax. There really is no membership. If you want to reach out to me, what we really do is I'll promote your business free of charge. If people charge for similar services, I just want to meet new people. That's it. I'm happy to promote you on my page, whoever you are, no matter what you do. So, and I know that doing this, good stuff will come back eventually. So that's all that really matters.
100%. And they always say your network is your net worth.
Oh yeah.
It's always about who you know, the connections you make, and just putting yourself out there, and just meeting people, and just putting your best foot forward, and good things happen. I mean, there's such thing to luck, but I think people who get lucky, or quote unquote, are the people who put themselves in more positions and more opportunities to get lucky. You know, 100%. If you swing 100 times, you're gonna probably connect with the ball more than the guy who swings 50 times.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
That's the law of numbers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that, you know, that people really do forget how easy that is to do in regular life. You know, you could be standing, like, crazy story, actually, I might as well bring it up. I was bowling with my family. And whenever I went outside, I was smoking a cigarette. And the guy next to me was sitting there, and we just chopped it up for a little bit. And I was like, oh, whatever. Maybe like an hour later, we go back outside. He just happens to be there again. Dude was a stockbroker from New York who also dabbles in alternative financing. And then we just sat there, BS'd about different programs. I told him about Lex LOC, very interested, and how he's someone that's on my contact list, and we're talking daily.
Wow.
You never know who you're standing next to.
Yeah.
And that's why you always have that conversation, and you always just go that extra mile. Because I've just felt like when I do just work that extra hour, or I just do that extra Google search when I didn't want to do it, or I watch that extra video, or I read that extra book, like it's just like happening, like right in front of me. So you know, fall 7 times, stand up 8. Always try, guys. Never give up. But we did want to talk about some trends in the real estate industry.
Yeah.
So I mean, what are some trends?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Talk to us.
Let's talk the real dirty.
Let's
So,
talk real estate.
like I said, like when I first started, it kind of was this crazy cycle. Wow, these prices are going up and up and up and up. And as everyone knows, everything that goes up gotta come down. And even for the past 2 years, everyone's like, "Oh, it's gonna crash. But I always knew. I'm like, well, first of all, on Long Island, you can't compare Long Island to the rest of the United States. In places like Florida, Texas, all across the country, there's so much land that they're developing new cities and countries. Long Island, there's no more land. We're out of everything. There's nothing to be made, no communities being developed. We are so short of houses, it's crazy. So the supply and demand has just really been keeping us afloat. But now, for the past year and a half, these rates have been rising and rising to a point now, thank God this past week, as of the current update, we're about 7.5, where we were getting closer to 8, but that's good because it went down a tiny bit. Okay. So people are praying that this is going to keep trickling down, but we really don't know. We're not the Fed. People are saying it could go back up. No one has that crystal ball. But for the most part, rates right now are about 7.5%. But at the same time, it's not the end of the world. A lot of people are pulling out. So if people are pulling out, not going high over ask, stuff is coming back on the market of foreclosures too at better prices too, more than I've ever seen. And also just having more options to negotiate in a deal, because you know what's going to happen when those rates go back down to that 4%, 3%? People are going to go fucking insane, truthfully. Yeah. People are going to go insane, and they're going to go back to that 2020 market mentality of paying these $100,000 over ask, because in the long scheme of things, it's all, as you guys know, it's just it's about the rate. It's about your monthly payment. It's not going to matter. So people are going to use that math, and then these houses on Long Island, I'm telling you, in 5 years, I can really see houses basically everywhere. You see it right now in Nassau, regular house in Plainview, $1,000,000-something. Yeah. We are so close to New York City. Like, we are such a different element than the rest of the country, so that's going to keep it afloat. But as of right now, people are pulling out. I really do think it is a good time to step in, and next year when those rates come down, you'll be in your house, you got it at a decent price, less than everyone else is paying that year, and then you can just refinance and get the better rate.
What do they say? Marry the house, date the rate.
Marry the house, date the rate. Correct. Yep.
And Frankie, what's that say? You say it all the time. The average house on Long Island is going to cost $1.2 million. The average car sales price is going to be $80,000, $90,000.
That's actually what you said. 'Cause I say it all the time. People think I'm crazy. I
No,
tell all my friends, I'm like, our house that we live
yeah.
in right now, even though it doesn't cost $1 million now, in the next 5 years,
No,
it
yeah,
will.
that's a projection. Like in 2040, that's like what the average standard is.
I agree.
On Long Island. So yeah, the way that inflation is rising with the cost of living and the wages, it's not adding up. You know what I mean? So to say the least, you have to be way more smarter with your money at a younger age. And to tie into that, I feel like we're almost a little less educated because I feel like a lot of people are going in debt with college and not sort of knowing what they really want to do. And I mean, let's be real. I mean, a house now is like 750 G's. So how do you expect someone who's like 100 grand in debt to then purchase a home even by the time they're like 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 years old? I mean, look at us. You know what I mean? Nobody here owns a home right now.
Yeah.
You know?
And honestly, even having people who are in great stand, or you may call it great standings, or people, this used to be the standard of great standings, having, let's say, 100 grand in the bank, or even you have a budget of 200,000 to spend on a house, right? You can put, let's say, 100 down, and then your closing costs are going to cost you another 30, 40, 50,000. All the phantom cost of the house, stuff that goes wrong, stuff that breaks, stuff you have to fix, furniture, moving, all the above. It really adds up. And your monthly payment still is around $5,000. And then you have to remember, you can spend your life savings to whatever it is, 200 grand. And then you just come up with $5,000 a month to pay that mortgage on top of everything else that comes with it. So like you said, you really do have to think differently now. People, you need to be saving as much as you can right now. Times are scary, but times will get better, as it has in every economic cycle. So you really do have to push yourself if you want to survive and, live in a place like Long Island that we all love.
Very competitive
Absolutely.
place to live.
Yeah.
So
I really enjoy it here, honestly.
I'll never leave.
Everything you ever need is a walk away.
I like the competition.
No, honestly.
I don't mind.
Breeds
I don't mind.
results.
Yeah, and the people that aren't willing to compete.
What do you
they're
think?
gonna move.
What's your opinion on Long Island?
I love
not
Long
Arizona.
Island, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's always been a dream of mine. You guys
Say
know
it,
this.
say
It's
it.
always been
Do
a
it.
dream of mine to
To
be
live
able to
in
walk
Arizona.
down, open up my front door, cup of coffee in my hand, whitey tighties on,
Oh my
and
God.
walk down to the end of my driveway and get my newspaper year round.
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
get
summer
it.
guy. I'm a boat
get
guy. I
it.
love the warm weather. Just
Once
love
you
it.
get that house, you have the heated driveway. We can work it out. We'll make it work.
You're not leaving, buddy.
We're in the Hawaii of the northeast.
We
northeast,
need
bro.
you to say the least.
I
out
also
there.
like my winter fish.
Unless we open up Lex Miami, then that's a whole other story.
Whoa.
Which is definitely
That's
something
Marty's-
that,
Marty's
that
story.
could be in,
You
in,
guys
in
could
the
be
works.
professional
Yeah.
snowbirds. You do
I know
it.
Marty would come with
That's
us.
Marty's
Shout out
story.
Marty, Miami.
Miami Marty.
I know Ryan, one of our guys, would definitely come down to
He
Florida with
definitely
us
would.
too. Obviously, I do whatever I got to do for.
Kid, I'm
company.
coming.
Yeah, I'll check it out
Yeah.
quarterly.
Justin's
Justin-
coming. Justin's
We need
coming.
him to find our office.
Me and Grizz are staying
What's
up
that
here.
commercial we were
I'll,
talking
I'll
about?
go down
Associate
quarterly.
Bro
Yeah.
coming up.
Quarterly.
Snowbirds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
What were you saying, Riz?
No.
No, you're good. I
Please,
want
please.
to hear your voice. Let me hear that beautiful voice of yours.
I wanted to just ask, like you were saying, like people are kind of like pulling out a little bit right now, correct? So now, does that make this a sell market, or are we kind of in a buy? Like, what kind of
It's
market
definitely
are
still
we
a
in?
seller's market. It's weird, different kind of market. You would think it would be a crazy buyer's market, which it is a little bit. You can negotiate more, like I said.
Yeah.
Prices are a little bit more negotiable, whatever it may be, repairs. But still, we're in Long Island where there's no inventory, and the hardest part about this all is all the people with houses to sell. They don't want to sell their house because what are they going to do? They're going to have nowhere to go. They're locked into a 2-3% rate right now. It's almost like
Why sell?
literally like you'd be killing yourself to be moving somewhere else. And then where, like, obviously people want to stay. It does make a lot of sense if you want to move out of state where you can go somewhere cheaper. But if you're staying in Long Island, you're not seeing anything. So that's why there's such low inventory. And then the people who are ready to buy, the people are desperate enough to pay this, which some people, not even desperate, if you're in the right situation. Everyone's situation is different. If you're in the right situation, you can afford to do it, go for it. If you're not, plan to do it when the time is right. But for the most part, for the people still buying right now, with a good pool of people that will pay the 8% rate, you see that one house that has everything you want, there's still 10 people looking at it, so it will sell. So sellers are still getting flying off the shit. Like, everything's flying, but it's just not going as crazy over ask, I will say, but it still kind of is. It's a little bit of both.
Just closed on a house about 2-3 weeks ago, went 40,000 over ask.
Exactly. Things are still selling over ask. I just did one in Wisconsin. It went 90,000 over ask.
Wow.
I love Wisconsin. I live right by it, but I don't think a house in Wisconsin for $1 million. But that just goes to show you, this is just the start. Then that house sold for almost $1 million in Wisconsin. The next door neighbor is going to be like, oh, I got the same house with a little bit more acreage and a pool. Okay, I'm going to ask for $1.5 million. He's going to get it. And it just goes up and up. And this is how it happened. We're already at $1 million for a normal 4-bedroom house in this town. So what's going to happen 2 years from now?
I was even talking about it, I think, in the last episode. My family home, it was like $300,000 when I lived there. And then when I moved out, I was just like tinkering around, looking at houses. I went from a couple of apartments, and I just decided to Google my house and see what it was. And it's like $750,000 now.
Yeah, doubled, and it will triple.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and your parents probably bought it for like 200 G's,
Yeah.
$100,000 back in the day, and that's why inflation and the cost of living and wages are just not adding up.
Insane.
Like our parents were buying homes for 100 to 200,000, depending on if it was a single or like 2-story, I'd say. And those same homes are single story. I mean, the cheapest you see is like 400 grand, but that could be like a foreclosure for one, and for two, like probably not a very well put together home like you would want. Those more single ranch homes I see are going for like 500,000-600,000, and that's in like average towns. And then
Yeah, it was
the
4-bedroom high range.
Yeah, and I just heard you say foreclosure. I definitely wanted to touch on that. I definitely have been seeing a little bit more foreclosures than I have in the past. Most of these, nothing's ever going to be like that 200008 year where everything came out as a foreclosure.
Hopefully it never happens ever again.
Because now, obviously, you guys know everyone who
gets
gets these loans or has gotten these loans over the past couple of years, they've been pretty well verified. For the most part, people are paying, but still, like I said, times are getting tough. There always will be those people who get in those situations, it doesn't work out, foreclosure comes. But, foreclosures do come, it happens, and if you are looking to get into investing, I know you were telling me about that program you guys have, and how it can help investors. I just wanted to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the Lex LOC program, I'm going to let Appio more speak about it just because he is our director of bank relations and he runs the whole Lex LOC program. But ultimately, just for me to touch on a little bit, I think the coolest part about the program is in our space, it's technically called the alternative financing space, but what we've done is we've been able to mix alternative with traditional, and we've been able to bring the customer right in between and offer them the best of both worlds, right? So if they qualify for one, they get one. If they qualify for the other, and we could also mix them in between. So with that being said, Appio, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So if we're talking about the foreclosures, I mean, Justin, let me ask you this. Can you take out a mortgage to get a foreclosure home?
Yes and no. So yes, you could take but your likelihood of getting an accepted offer on that foreclosure because it's going to be very low. Why?
There's investors
because
left and right.
Yes, because there's probably 10 guys in front of you who have cash money that are going to pay for it. Obviously, they're going to go with the cash.
Exactly. So that's where somewhere like us can come into play, where if you don't have $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 just sitting around, which most people don't. I mean, maybe unless you want to pull out your 401k. So what a lot of people will do is they'll take out our financing. I mean, we have so many real estate investors that come to us for our Lex LOC program alone.
Yeah, it's huge.
Alone. If it wasn't, I mean, I would say our biggest, honestly, probably our biggest client might be real estate investors at this very moment in time.
Yeah, I'd say
it
so.
used to be startup companies. We definitely have a good mix of everybody, but real estate investors come to us left and right. So the way our program works, I mean, everybody knows how it works. You're able to get 0% APR financing for an introductory period of time, or you can get a traditional bank line of credit through your business. Now you have access to cash. Now you can either put your down payment on your non-foreclosure house and take out your mortgage and take out 2, 3, or 4 and get a couple of rental properties, do a couple of flips, keep a couple of long-term rentals, or you can cash out on your foreclosure. You can take care of your renos. It's a revolving line of credit. As you pay it down, you can use it again, obviously. So a lot of people come to our program for that alone because, one, it's one of the easier programs to qualify for.
Right.
A lot of people nowadays, they have businesses or they have an EIN number, right? And they don't do anything with it. You don't really do anything with it. And I'm not knocking anybody because it's smart. If you get your EIN number and you open up an LLC and your day one, your time in business is 1 day. I mean, me and Frankie were just talking about it on our webinar we just shot an hour ago. We got somebody literally $99,000 on the dot for a company that was opened up. For a company that we helped them open up.
Yeah.
We directed them on where to go and what and who to, and what to do, and literally 3 weeks later, 3 weeks time of business, $99,000 in their pocket.
Yeah, could you imagine?
And they didn't even have the most phenomenal credit. They really didn't. I mean, we got I can't really name drop, huh? We got another guy. We all know who it is. He left us some of the best reviews.
Yeah.
We ran him through our Lex LOC program, utilized a co-signer, not even just him, and got him over $150,000 in where he purchased 3 properties.
That's amazing.
This man purchased 3 properties. And sometimes I forget that we're on Long Island and we can't get a house for $100,000 anymore. Everywhere else in the country, not everywhere, but a lot of places all over the country, you can still get a house or a trailer home or a small mini house.
No, there is a lot
nowadays for $100,000, for $85,000.
Yeah.
And purchase it completely outright.
Especially like Section 8 housing as well.
Yeah, I saw Baltimore. You can get a lot of houses for like $50,000. People turn them into Airbnbs, stuff like that.
It's unreal. And I sometimes I just completely forget about those opportunities out there because we're so used to everything being so damn expensive over here.
Yes, it is.
What's the cheapest you can get a house for right now? I'm talking the worst.
Something you can move into, like a cheapest. It's tough. Like even
I'm talking this house just burned down basically.
Yeah, a burnt down house costs $300,000.
Yeah, that's insane.
A burnt down house
believe
costs
that,
about
folks?
$300,000 on average.
A pile
I
of
can say
ash.
that confidently. $300,000 for a burnt down house. I also just sold a 1-bedroom base co-op, but it's basically a tiny apartment for $300,000.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
I think you sent me like a snap the other day, like a certain area, like there's no houses less than like 500 or whatever.
Yeah, and that was another thing about the inventory. I sent it to you, and it was a circle of all the houses basically on the North Shore on Long Island, and there was not a single listing under $500,000. From basically Huntington all the way to Wading River, there's not a single house under $500,000.
Wow.
And Huntington has like a very expensive part to it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but going everywhere. My hope is that people start which it is. People are developing more Middle Island, out east over there, Riverhead, and they can make a lot more over there. It's honestly really nice too. East Moriches too.
We'll never get rid of our vineyards.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Right.
What else are we gonna do? I'm
But
not
then you
going
hit
to
the
city.
Hamptons, and now they'll have to take over there. But no, I see a good future for Long Island. It's just gonna get a little more expensive, you know.
Honestly, I am happy that they preserve like the vineyards and the pine barrens and then the parks. You know, it gives it the nature that Long Island is very famous for at one point in time. So at least you still get a good mix of all of that.
You need wine country.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's what makes Long Island Long Island.
You drive out of basically little cities, and then it's just open fields, and you see horses and grapes growing.
One
It's
freaking
cool.
road. It sucks. Well, let's not sugarcoat this, guys. It
Single
sucks.
lane.
One road in either North or South Fork. One road, and it's once you're there, it's nice. Like
Yeah.
That's what we're paying all that money for, to sit in traffic, right?
yeah, literally,
literally.
dude.
Half the
Hour and a
time.
half.
Yeah. But that's New York. You have to realize, like, the most visited place in the whole world is an hour away from where we are. And that's why this is the epicenter of almost the world.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're just the suburbs right outside it.
I think there was this statistic like if you live on Long Island, like no matter like what your wage class is, like you're in the top 1% of the world.
Right.
You know, so you make it middle what's the word, minimum wage. There we go. And you know, you have an apartment, whatever you're doing, you're top 1% of the world. So good for you living in New York.
Yeah. And I mean, even the tourism on Long Island is insane because on one end you have New York City, on the other hand you have Montauk and Orient Point, which are famous.
Kardashian
You know,
and all that.
people from all over the world love Long Island beaches. You know, the Hamptons. They all go there and flock there just to hang out.
Yeah.
So people are always coming through here. It's constant traffic. Businesses do really well here for the most part, especially like restaurants and things like that.
So speaking of, other places in the country, where do you guys see yourself expanding in the near future?
Personal wise or business wise?
A little bit of, why not both?
Yeah.
I can see us definitely going down to Florida. I mean, Miami right now, they say it's going to be the Wall Street in like, by like 2040, by
Wall
like
Street,
26, it's going to be the new Wall Street. So a lot of businesses are flocking there for a multitude of reasons. I mean, the biggest is obviously income tax is going to be the biggest reason right there. That's like an extra like 10-15% we pay compared to like anybody else. New Yorkers, I think, pay the most taxes because of that income tax. So they're saving a lot of money by going there, and then a lot of other businesses are kind of just migrating there. So it kind of, other businesses want to be around other businesses, and especially our industry, we want to be around other businesses because what we are. We're B2B. We fund other businesses. We work with other businesses. We're B2B. So I could definitely see us making a move down there.
Nice.
I mean, maybe the Carolinas.
I would love
maybe.
that.
Like,
I would
I would love
that.
to be in the Carolinas, but I don't know if it would be like the logistics of it would make sense for the company.
I can see you in
Yeah.
Miami,
Yeah.
but other than that, I can't see you out of New York.
Yeah, we could definitely get an office in Miami.
Out
one of these
west,
days.
little Utah. Actually.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Oh,
yeah,
Utah
Arizona?
accent.
Yeah.
Stop that.
I'll go in Arizona.
We could.
after.
Bring me
Yeah,
down.
I want to
you know
see.
what
I
it
want to
is?
see you guys nationwide.
It's the quality, I feel like, of the employees too. I don't know. There's just something
Yeah.
about that Long Island, New York grit that you just do not get anywhere else. I mean,
It's famous for a reason.
it's famous for a reason. I mean,
And that's why you can go into these different territories and just
Dominate.
Yeah,
That's why
dominate.
New
Yeah,
Yorker
yeah.
can go
Yeah.
anywhere,
anywhere
get any
and be
job
successful.
and crush it.
Yeah,
Yep.
crush it. Yeah.
100%.
Our work ethic is second to none.
We'll have to bring our New Yorkers out west. That's what it's
Yeah.
gonna be. We'll have
Yeah,
to-
you put us in California, we'll outwork any office there.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
telling you. We'll
You guys are already
Yeah,
doing
good
it.
luck.
You're
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
already doing it.
Yeah,
we'll show you
appreciate
the
that.
bunk beds.
Yeah. The
Coming,
bunk
coming
beds are back
soon.
there.
Coming soon.
Literally.
Yeah.
Elon Musk it.
One thing I meant to ask with the foreclosures, are you seeing a lot of them from the purchases of 2020? Is that like where the primary?
They're a
like,
little bit
is?
everywhere, but
Okay.
yeah, there are some that are people who bought in 2020 when someone who had maybe a little bit less can afford it. It was pretty easy back then, but yeah, there is some from 2020. It is a little bit all over, but like I said, I've never seen this many foreclosures are popping up here and there, in decent condition too. So people can really get it for under market value. Put a couple dollars into it, and it'd be worth that crazy price of whatever it may be, 800, 700, something you got for $4.
Let me ask you this. So you obviously know non-QM loans,
Yes.
DSCR loans, everything along those lines. For anybody who doesn't know, those are loans for people who don't have an on-the-books job or are self-employed, right? And I mean, I see a lot of those, and I've looked into a lot of those, and I have a lot of mortgage buddies. Do you think that those loans are really well underwritten? Like, how would you compare those loans to 2008 type?
It's tough to say, because like it is non-QM. They're not looking at as many things as some of these other conventional banks.
The way my mortgage guys talk about it, they make it seem like they can get really flexible with getting you approved.
So that might be something else that happens with all these people who got these, non-QM. They didn't really look into it. People default on their loans all the time.
Yeah.
But no, I think it is better than 2008. I want to say,
Yeah.
and I would hope so too. I would hope this whole economic system learned a lesson for what happened in 2008.
I doubt
If you don't watch The Big Short, you haven't watched The Big Short about.
Yeah, that's
you'll
what I was
learn
gonna
what
say.
happened
You
in
don't have a
2008.
stripper owning
Yes.
five separate houses in a condo.
Exactly.
Although
Right.
that guy's gambling again right now about this next one coming up. He said it's coming soon.
Oh yeah.
But I think he did that like 2 or 3 more times too, and he spent a lot of money doing that. So
Yeah.
this could just be another,
Yeah.
or it could be the one.
Big Short's a great movie, though.
Oh,
I still haven't
fantastic.
seen it.
Movie.
Oh, you got.
I know.
I've never seen it.
I
Yeah,
know.
I've never
No?
seen it.
About
Yeah,
the whole
no,
2008
yeah, I've
No
never seen it.
way. You would
It's
love
a long
it.
movie.
It's a 3.5
Yeah,
hour
it's a long
movie.
movie.
That's what we
All
were
those
talking about
finance
last time
movies are really
too.
long.
I know. Our Wolf of Wall Street.
If you guys
That's
have a
long.
movie day at Lex, that's the movie.
There you
I'm
go. It's
sure
gonna be
you
the
guys have
longest
all
movie
seen
ever.
Wolf of Wall Street
Oh,
too
of
many
course,
times.
of course.
As have I.
There's
Yeah,
never
of
too
course.
many times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
never.
of course. A lot of like what goes on in that movie kind of reminds me of the office atmosphere that we have here, to say the least.
Yeah, just the energy
Yeah, the energy
and the drive.
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
just like the
camaraderie,
power.
the brotherhood.
This is like my third time here.
the money.
Yeah, I remember I was hyped. I remember we had to meet up for something, and we was gonna do it somewhere else. I'm like, nah, I'm coming into the office.
yeah.
I said, well, I'll see you
Yeah.
next week. So I
Yes,
came
sir.
here, and it literally is everything what I thought it was gonna be. Like
Yeah.
everyone in the bullpen, everyone running around, like it's awesome.
You gotta
That's-
show
that's-
for
that's-
the-
This office or the last one?
No,
The
here.
old-
I
this
didn't.
one?
I
the
haven't
last
seen
office
the
was
old one. I
wild.
haven't
Okay.
seen
You
the
didn't
old
want to
one.
see the old one.
It was wild.
I saw some videos.
It was in an old car shop.
Yeah,
Old-
yeah.
It was in an old car shop, just like when
Frank's
Wall
Auto
Street
Body.
first-
Which I'm sorry, I was talking about last time the parallels that are drawn in The Wolf of Wall Street. The first office
Yeah.
they buy is a body shop called Frank's Auto Body.
Anyone look at Steve Jobs started out his garage. you
Yeah,
know?
dude. Yeah.
Like
Some
I was
of
just
those
saying, they were
garages.
just giving me a tour around here, and I'm like, this place is amazing. It just goes and goes. This place is huge.
You should
So-
show up for the morning meeting warm up.
Oh my god.
It's insane.
Oh my
What's the
gosh.
morning
I think I
meeting?
might
just
Let-
want to come every
oh,
day just to
oh,
get
video
pumped
of
up.
us.
Let's
Yeah.
talk to him about the.
Let's talk about the
Let's
morning
talk
meeting.
about
Yeah.
it. So Grizz, tell him about what we do in the morning.
So every
Started with
morning
the morning rumble.
at
Yeah.
9:45 on 9:44. I'm sorry, on the
sir.
dot. We all stand up and we start singing the national anthem.
Oh my god! Just like school.
And this started on the
national
fly, by
anthem,
the
not
way.
the Pledge of
Oh.
Allegiance. The national freaking anthem.
The
Like
national
what
anthem.
song
Oh,
at
say,
sporting
can-
events?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
amazing.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free?
This is where we start smashing stuff.
And the home of the brave.
Let's go.
We hit the gong. We hit the gong.
You have to actually come to the. You should come every.
And by the
single-
time it
That
starts,
was
like
amazing.
everyone's out here when we start singing.
Dude, it's amazing. All the
That's
guys
real.
stand right out there and they're ready to like just get.
You guys
it's-
need a
it's-
band.
dude. It's
You guys
crazy.
need to actually
Yeah, it's
sing.
crazy.
I don't know
yeah.
about
Oh,
that.
Remy,
I don't
remove
know
the
if we
mics a lot.
actually
Everything
sing.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
All right,
Yeah.
cool. But
Thanks,
yeah, no,
Remy,
it's
for standing up.
yeah.
For that.
we blow the mics
Our
off this
producer,
place.
real patriot over
took the
there.
hat off and everything.
Even with all the equipment, he still took the
Also,
time to
that
stand
light's
up
on.
for
I
our
can't believe we
anthem.
were sitting at first.
Dude, I know the disrespect. So
yeah,
so we do that.
yeah, every morning.
9:45, we're doing that at the last second. We start rumbling, and all the guys like they hear us, so like,
They
they start
line up.
filing out,
They
lining
line
up
up.
over there. in
Your
the corner.
downstairs neighbors must love you guys.
Oh,
They
Oh my
definitely
god, they
are.
came up here one time. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, they're like, what do you guys do?
They're just jealous. Their office doesn't have the
They
same
were
energy.
mad. They were just so curious.
It's not even close.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
music
not even
school.
close. Yeah.
So we get crazy. The second we're done, we run out. Let's go! Like everyone's just yelling. We hit into people. We're shaking
Yeah.
people.
It's like
It's going
running out
crazy.
to the Super Bowl.
It's
every
like
time.
running out to the Super Bowl.
It's
Bro. It
insane.
really
Yeah.
feels like that. Like we're dapping the guys up, like putting
Yeah.
our hands out like that. It's honestly, it's a really great day. to do.
Energy's
love
unparalleled.
that. Yeah.
That's honestly
Yeah.
what you need.
We'll
to
show you a
start-
video after the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll show you.
If you were
It's
to
cool.
come in like semi-bum that day, like by 9:47, you're
yeah, you gotta
fired
get up, bro.
We had
Yeah,
we
you
had,
gotta get
we
up.
had one guy from the UK here when we were doing that.
Oh
and
my
he was standing,
God.
He was standing there like this. That
Yeah.
song's about the War
Oh.
of 1812.
Yeah.
And he was just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, we-
recording. Like I love
That
He
is
loved
amazing.
it.
He started
He
actually
doesn't listen to
USA
music,
champ
but
he
for
loved
himself.
it.
But you
He
know
loved
what?
it.
It's the little, not even that's huge, but like little stuff like that is what really makes a company like this, or just companies in general, having that camaraderie, having those traditions, and having that like family atmosphere that you guys have.
And I
Yeah.
think the best part of it was how it came about. So me, Appio, and Grizz and Frankie all sit in the same area, and we just sing throughout the day. Like randomly start singing, and then like we're just sitting there. Frankie's just like, "Oh, sing," and then we all just chimed in, and then that happened. Then we started smashing stuff, and then we ran out. We're like, "Let's go!"
Started with the OG 9 a.m. rumbles. The
Oh yeah,
second-
we used. Oh yeah, we used to
second
just
9
smash
a.m.
stuff.
hit, I used to start pounding my desk.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Then the coffee would fall off the desk.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the amount of times my coffee and water has fallen off my desk.
My screen's
We
almost
broke a
fall off every
bobblehead.
morning.
Yeah,
I
broke both the
I
screens
pulled the
in.
screens in. Yeah, it's so funny.
But it's nice. And then after the entire rumble, we come out here. Frankie's standing right here, front and center, and he motivates us even more. He gives us motivating speech, motivating knowledge. We talk about all of yesterday's wins, every deal that's funded, and I swear the gong's ringing. He has a nice little touch to it. He does the same exact touch every day now. I like
You
it.
like that? You like that?
Little drum roll on
yes,
there. Huh? Nice.
Yeah,
Goes,
dude.
Jib 100K. Boom.
Yeah, yeah.
It just resonates the whole meeting for like 10 minutes
And we
straight.
get to it.
Yeah.
No, I saw you guys' numbers have been insane this past month.
Oh my gosh! I mean, we're breaking records left and right. I mean,
That's
I'm
great.
so happy with the guys and the performance and just how we've just been executing. I mean, it comes down to execution, and we really do it. You know, we don't just talk the talk; we walk the walk, to say the least.
Yeah.
I
As much
can-
fun
I
as
can
we do
attest
have
to
here,
that.
Yes, sir.
as much fun as we do have here, I'd say 99.99% of the time it's us just locked like a laser.
Yeah.
And then we take a random break.
Like we
to
don't
say
take
some-
lunch breaks. That's why we mess around for like.
Bro, I
that's
don't
why
think
we
you
mess around
guys
for like a
sleep.
half
You
second.
guys
Yeah.
sleep or what?
Yeah, maybe like a solid
I'll tell you what, if we
4
weren't
hours
doing
a
this
night.
podcast right now, all four of us would be at our desk.
Yeah.
I think you guys will still
100%.
be here.
Yeah,
And you guys will.
100%.
I'll probably leave here, and you guys will still be
Yes,
here.
sir. Yes, sir.
Recapping,
That is
getting
it.
ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice. Love
It's
it.
funny. It's the we like locked in thing. I went over to our like kitchen, just like microwave something. I like brought lunch one day, and someone's like, "You're out of your cave."
For once.
I was like, "Yeah, I brought food today.
Feels good to get some sunlight.
I gotta stretch out the leg."
Seriously, need to start taking some vitamin D.
Yeah,
And like Jess, shout out to my sister Jess.
that was
She's
who
like,
said it to me actually.
she's like, oh, that's funny because she's always like, I want to go like ask you something, but like walking in there is so intense. Sometimes. and I'm like,
She
you.
has not walked in like
Yeah,
once.
she doesn't
doesn't.
really
There's
walk in
4
now that I
people
think
that
about
walk in
it.
there that are brave enough to walk
Yeah,
in.
But
I
even
know.
still, they
a
walk.
lot of people don't walk into that
It's
room.
2 new guys.
Corey,
and 2 managers.
Corey always walks in, obviously, rumbling on. We're all on the phone. Hey guys!
I love it though because like Liam will come in and Liam will just be like,
Just
I know.
creep in, yeah.
Hey, is anyone on the
Hey,
phone?
what do you want?
Yeah.
John
Great
Jay
time.
the other day. Oh my God, John Jay. He went to go bring me his phone, but I was on the phone, and I told him like, just 1 minute, just wait right there. And he went to go walk out of the room, and I was like, and then I was, and then he went to go walk back out of the room, and I was like,
Oh my god.
I know exactly who you have on the phone right now, and I need to talk to them. Don't move. Tell him to wait 60 seconds. I had to mute myself for a second.
It's like, hey, if you wouldn't mind waiting 60 seconds and put the phone down.
meanwhile I'm at my desk just laughing like this.
Oh my
God,
gosh.
I love it.
Yeah.
Good
Works really
camaraderie
great.
here at Lex.
It really is.
Lex, baby.
Incredible environment.
It is.
Let's do it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it. And ultimately, and the reason why we've built such like a great atmosphere is, I mean, we all got stuff going on, right? Everyone has a life outside of here. So, I mean, to at least come here for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day, depending on how savage you are, and to come into an environment where you just can't be sad, I mean, that's just a testament to management and just the culture that we've built here. And it's just very, very important because obviously we all get down, right? But we don't let our employees get down. We're always here for them, and we're not just here for their growth at work. We're here for their growth outside of work and just them financially, physically, mentally. I mean, we're turning these kids into men, to say the least. you know?
Absolutely.
So
Everything
We're
goes
here
better
for
when you lift them
everybody's
up.
ups and downs. Someone's has something bad going on in their personal life. We don't talk about it, but we help.
yeah.
We help.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, you guys got a great support
Yeah.
system here. You can really
And
tell.
real quick before I forget, keep this on the record. My new favorite word, Lexecute.
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 Oh.
Lex flicks and chill.
Yeah,
Lex flicks and
someone just
chill.
dropped that.
Shout out Pat McDonald, baby.
McDonald.
We're shouting
He
you
wore
out.
the
I know
Gucci
you've been
just
waiting
for
for
you.
this. You see these?
Just for you, Pat.
Just for you.
Pat likes the Gucci slides, so I've been keeping them on.
Don't FaceTime.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. My mom's not a fan. Yeah. Pat don't like the FaceTime.
Yeah, and like just one more little example. I mean, you saw it firsthand. Your networking event. I had
Oh my god.
one of the people that I actually happen to know there from school went there, and they were like, "Was this a requirement for your company?"
Nah, you just roll deep.
I
So
know,
we was just
literally,
20 deep.
We just don't go without each other.
Just 20 deep. Everyone there having a great
Bro,
time.
you guys even went golfing the other day, 20 deep. I never seen anything like that. Like, how do you even get away with this?
Dude, oh my gosh.
We don't know how we
had,
did
we
well.
legitimately had 9 people on 1 tee time. I don't know how we convinced the golf place to do that. Typically it's 4 max to
max,
tee
I've
off.
never seen
And the worst part about it was that there was like some slow, and I love grandmas, but there was some
He does.
slow
He's very nice
grandmas
with
to say
women.
the least in front of us. And we lapped them with 9 people. We
That's
lapped them with
insane.
9 people. Yeah, it was really bad. I felt bad, honestly. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I just want to play. I just came here to play. I don't want to be here all
You
night.
guys
Were
roll
they
deep.
walking?
You roll
Yeah,
deep.
they
No,
were
they had a
walking.
card.
Oh, did they have
They
a
had a
card?
card.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's
That's
rough. Yeah,
Not
Get
good
that
news.
that's
walking.
probably why we were slightly a little more frustrated that day. But and golf too. Like we play golf a lot differently. I mean, a lot of people look at the sport of golf and they're like, yeah, golf. Like you come play golf with Lexington Capital Holdings and you're gonna have
Time
the
of your
greatest goddamn time of your life. It's gonna be better than going to the club on a
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Please.
Yes.
We're going.
Yeah,
are.
let's go.
Let's
do you golf
go.
or
Yes,
no?
yes,
You do?
yes.
Yeah, we gotta go.
I'm not good,
This
but
weekend.
I
We're
love,
not good
you
either.
sound like my kind of
Appio's
golfer.
good. We are. We
He's
are.
from
Just
the North Shore.
we
Don't
are.
let Booms drive the cart.
Oh my god, I crashed the cart. It's like bumper
Oh
cars.
yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah,
Sacramento,
yeah.
them a couple bucks.
It's some
Yeah,
sick
yeah,
drifts.
it's fun. Yeah, fight some alligators in the water. You know,
sir.
Happy
Saw
Gilmore
a guy
style.
fishing in the pond.
That's what the Miami location's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
fighting alligators on the course.
Dude, let's go this weekend.
Dude,
Let's go
down.
this
You
weekend.
tell me
I'll book us
whenever.
a tea time after this.
Perfect.
Yep,
Put,
we're there.
put on the Lex card.
Sick. Justin, one
Yes.
question that I just kept in the back of my mind, and it might sound dumb or hypothetical
Never,
maybe, but
never.
with the lack of inventory, is there a possibility where people on Long Island can be like, as you said, like there's no more development? All right, we all have our houses. We're just gonna start passing them down, and like there's no more buy-sell market or very little. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
a possibility. People, I've heard of that too. People selling within families, or just you doing it off market, which does happen all the time too. You just don't realize. But yeah, a lot of deals do happen off market like that. But I can't see anything affecting it. I really can't. Even the most effect we are seeing right now, just because the rates are the highest right now, and still the seller's market has not been affected. This is the biggest effect we're probably going to see going to next year. I don't think much is going to change, and things are just going to go up. And like we said, these houses are going to be worth $1 million. But you do have a point though. A lot of stuff that has happened off market. I've seen people even do. I've had clients of mine who've done that. I've been working with them, showing them houses, and like, oh, my grandma's selling a house, and then they go and buy it. So it does happen, 100%.
I don't think we'll ever be like England in the sense where they've had the same homes and the same family for generations.
gotcha.
Yeah,
I wish.
we're here in America.
Yeah, shit. Think about it. Your
People
parents
wanna
gonna give
move
up their
out
$1
at
million
18.
house they bought for $170,000 back in 1993? Never. They're gonna be
Yeah,
like,
I
shit.
mean-
I'm cashing out on this. I'm not giving this to you. That's what's
A
gonna
lot
happen.
of us
truthfully.
moved out of our parents' houses real young.
Immediately,
yeah.
Us here, us Americans, we want to be independent. We want to do our own thing, and we want to get out.
Us Americans.
America, baby. I do also have a
America.
question.
Yes.
Just because I've seen it a lot. I was in and out of different apartments, looking around at different apartments. Do you think that the fact that homeowners are able to divide their house and rent it out for such high dollar amounts
It's crazy to rent
affects
the market.
them selling the house? Like
No, I think it helps it. If you have a house that has income potential, that's a gold
helps with the
mine.
loan.
Yeah,
right?
but that's what I'm saying. They're not going to sell that house now when they move. They're just going to go get another house and keep this house
They
funneling
could.
them
If
money.
people do both, I've had people who do both. You're 100% right. And you can rent something out, and a basement apartment around here goes for like $2,000. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can really maximize the rental, but some people might just want to cash out. Like, think about it. If you're older, yes, it's a lifetime. Over time, you get passive income, all this stuff. But if I'm 60 years old and who knows how much time you got left, I would sell, cash out, get that $400,000-500,000 out of your house that you'll profit and run.
Yeah, 'cause
go
I
down
mean,
to
like,
Florida.
In my instance, my landlord, he makes probably $6,500 a month off of just the house that I live in.
Oh yeah.
Granted, it's a decently nice house.
Yeah,
but
and
it's
there's
like-
tons of illegal apartments all throughout Long Island. It's a huge thing.
You said illegal apartments?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was my first apartment.
Yeah. Everyone's is. I don't think there's so many
That's
houses.
what
The
sold
town
that
of Brookhaven and all the townships, they'll try to stop it, but it never will. People will always make there's so many basements and there's so many garages. People are always
loopholes.
gonna find a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's my cousin.
Exactly. Literally. I've seen it before. It's ridiculous, the rules they have. It's so silly. And it's just like people are trying to live, man. People are really in desperate situations right now. People, you don't know how messed up people's lives are until you get to see them face to face, day to day, and realize what they're going through. They want to just have a basement. It's so hard for people. So affordable housing, it's unfair to a lot of people, especially across Long Island, that affordable housing is not an option. And someone has to do something to change it. Obviously, I can't help, but I'm an advocate for making housing affordable. So yeah, if you do have a legal apartment, I'm all for it, because you're creating more housing for people, more opportunity, and these prices won't be so crazy if there's more housing around. Simple as that.
Even like the minor development that there is, like it's not affordable. Like all those new apartments.
Any new
and
apartment, I saw
complexes.
one bedroom for $3,500, $4,000.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting.
And like there's
This should not be this way.
100 other people with you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you should make make it affordable. People will rent it. I mean, people are still going to rent it out anyway. But
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that does keep the average person in like a weird cycle where they're almost trapped here now.
Yeah.
They work their job, they pay their rent, then they go to work their job to pay their rent.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's been 10 years. and you really haven't had either the drive, you're tired, or the time or the money to go and explore different ventures and try and make more money in a different fashion,
Right.
because you're constantly in survival mode.
Yeah, like I'm not totally anti-rent. Like I said, everyone's situation's different. If you
I
can
like it,
afford it, go
honestly.
for it. But yeah, people do get stuck in that, and then because you're paying these high, almost as much as a mortgage to rent something, it's hard to play catch up and get. Then once you're ready, or once you have a life change, family, kid, whatever it may be, it's hard. But there are different ways to make it work. And I know you guys can help out in different ways too. If you're in that situation, if you want to buy a house that's, maybe needs some work or stuff, that's where guys like you come and step in, where you offer different programs to help people fix it up or help people get that new fridge or whatever it may be, so they can make it work and live a life here.
Absolutely. I definitely think the programs we have help people in literally any industry. Again, no matter the time of business, no matter revenue, if you're going to look just to explore something, that program is a great float. Like Appio was talking about, 0% introductory periods. You can't really beat that.
No, you really can't. You really can't. But the touch, I just had a thought while you asked Justin that question before. I feel like Long Island is probably the biggest place for self-employed people, maybe in the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
And with self-employed people, I mean, I'm just really using my father as my biggest example. You don't have anything retirement set up, unless you work for somebody who's going to really, unless you are knowledgeable and you set up your own 401ks and you actually put away. I feel like most people don't have a retirement plan set up, and so what a lot of these people are doing is using rental properties as their retirement plan.
Right.
Purchasing a couple of houses over their lifetime, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20 houses over their lifetime, and holding on to them and collecting that monthly income as their retirement. So, I mean, I literally just thought about that as you asked that question before, and I feel like there's going to be too many places to rent, not enough to buy.
That's exactly my thought in my brain when I asked that question about the renting. Eventually all the houses are going to be purchased and just being used as cash funnels.
Everybody and their mother wants to be an investor, and I don't blame them.
Me neither. It's a great idea.
Panning back and forth to them.
There's more competition than ever, honestly, right now, and it's not even like just individuals like us who might make it one day and have the money to do it. It's big companies like Vanguard, BlackRock. I mean, they're scooping up houses left and right. I mean, even the freaking Chinese government is somehow scooping up houses in like Wyoming right now. However, we're letting that happen. Like, geez,
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I mean, competition is just. I mean, can you imagine we're competing with another country to purchase
On our own
property?
ground.
You know what I mean? Us against
country.
another
Our own
country.
Can't even get a house in Wyoming.
Yeah, it's crazy. So.
And I mean, even the big 1%, the multi-billionaires are buying up a whole bunch of farmland.
Yeah, what do you think? They don't do
Bill
real
and-
estate? You don't
No,
think
yeah.
Elon Musk also has a
I don't
great
trust
real
Bill.
estate portfolio? Yeah, he definitely does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got to attribute. Now, Justin, you also know about real estate investing, right?
Yes.
So now, with the housing market how it is, do you see like condos and townhouses as viable investments, like even to start out? Because are they a little bit cheaper on the island, right? You can probably buy.
No, actually,
Looking at 300.
no. It's actually terrible. It's actually sad. It's just so. Like I said, first of all, I think they all could be, but the ones you see are cheap are the co-ops. You can get a co-op for like $250, $300, but it's still not for what it is. It's still not really affordable. Whatever it is, like if you're a one person, it works out.
What's
But
a
condos
co-op?
now, a co-op is so a condo is you own it outright. A co-op is a building that's owned by a corporation. So instead of buying the actual unit itself, you buy shares in that corporation. So let's say that room is a unit. That room might cost 250 shares of the corporation, and that's how you sell it. So you don't own it outright. There's so many rules. You can't even even if you buy it, you have to get approved by a board, and they can deny you, and they'll literally say you can't live here, and they have rules like no pet. It's just like, it's almost a hassle. A condo is a little bit more lenient. You can make changes to it. You own that condo outright, but still, a condo is the better option, 100%. But a condo in Long Island right now costs about the same as a house, if not more. Some of these condos around here, like I even see Port Jeff and everywhere, almost like 600, 700 grand, where you could be getting a house for that, with a yard and stuff. Like the condo, you don't even get it. Sometimes you don't get a garage. So condos, even though they are great, I have nothing against condos. It's just, in my opinion, I would rather spend that money, get a house maybe that isn't as nice, and then eventually make it nicer over time and get to that point. That's just my 2 cents.
Now, with that being said, as far as managing properties, so like obviously New York it's expensive. So like what if I wanted to go to another state? Like what do you think my next closest state I should check out would be? Like where?
Connecticut. I think Connecticut is great. You can get a duplex in Connecticut, literally hour away from here, hour and a half for $300K,
Okay.
which is what it should be. Yeah, honestly, you could go to yeah. It's crazy because you think about that in Long Island terms, like you just like
Probably like 6.
you would never find that here. Yeah,
Just
But
take the ferry to come to work
I think
every day.
I would say your next best state would be Connecticut. I'm trying to think where else. Airbnbs are another great options. I think Airbnb is huge. It's they get a little bit of a hit because people are pulling back on spending, but I think it's going to come back really big.
Are you scared of the government like regulating Airbnbs more? Because
Yes, in New
With
York City.
arbitrage,
Yeah.
people aren't really jiving on it.
Yeah, I've been studying arbitrage and Airbnb for a while. I've actually kind of started my own property management company, Elite Property Management, and I
Shout
just
out.
wanted to get into doing stuff like that, arbitrage. So yeah, I think, but like you said, governments are having more control, and even now, even in Long Island, that you have to get permits for a short-term rental. There's all these rules. You have to pay extra taxes on it. That's where they want to get you, which is just annoying because at the same time, Airbnb is just like the same thing I said about renting. It's offering more solutions for people to live places. You can even month-to-month rent Airbnb, but all these municipalities are trying to govern it and make rules around it, and it's just stupid. It's just like, why do we have all these rules? All they do is just to collect more taxes from us than we're already paying. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the reasoning behind them kind of banning the Airbnbs is because there's not enough long-term rentals for people to live in, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Some people do
my,
do it
my
long
personal
term.
take is just stay out of our business, and if you can't afford it, go somewhere else cheaper.
Yeah, least amount of regulation as possible, and from the government and businesses. I mean, that's what capitalism really is, right? Stay away from us, let us do what we do, and we still make the economy run. Regulate us so that there's not monopolies and we're not doing illegal stuff. But other than that,
They
like,
did a great
let
job
us
of
do
that.
business so that we can make money and keep the economy going, because that's ultimately what small and medium-sized business is. It's just keeping the economy going. Like, I promise you, like, if it just ends up being Amazon one day, Pfizer, all these big-time companies, like, America's going to fall. We need small and medium-sized businesses. They keep the middle class afloat. I think 60% of all people employed in the United States work for a small to medium-sized business. So, we can't get rid of that.
And it keeps the people happy too. You see all kinds of dystopian books where like one company runs it and no one's happy.
Yeah.
At least with the small and medium-sized businesses, you give people the American dream, and that's enough to wake up every day.
And that's the thing too, and a lot of entrepreneurs will say too, is if you're gonna work for a company and you feel like you're an entrepreneur, work for the newer upcoming company and make it great. And then you could really grow with the company. You're just going to be another number at Amazon. You're going to be another number at Google, unless you're going to be their next CEO. At this company, you're all special people at this company, to say the freaking least. And the compensation shows. So you know what I mean. The opportunities definitely wouldn't have been there if maybe even we have people who go to college in 4 or 5, 6 years who. Google, I mean, we talk about it all the time. I mean, if you get, and this is why I'm such a huge proponent of sales for anybody. And the reason being is you go to 4 years of college, 5 years of college, 6 years of college, whatever. You get out, the employer gives you a $60,000 year salary. That's amazing. And you know what they do year 2? They say, congratulations, Thomas. You did such a great job. We're going to give you a 1% raise.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to pay you $61,000 next year.
God.
And then in the year after that, they say, Thomas, you did an even better job. We're going to give you a 2% raise, $64,000.
And that trains
next
them
year.
to think that that's what their hard work is worth.
Yeah, and it's not. And then at the end of the day, moral of the story is you're not going to end up making $100K until you're like 40, 50 years old working the average job. I mean, we have people here who made 30, 40, 50, 60 grand their first year, and they're making well over 6 figures their second year, not to really get into how much everybody makes. And we have people making it well on beyond that, I promise you that, making a great living for themselves. So huge proponent of sales. You're really putting the ball in your court. You can't come to Lexington and be like, it's Frankie's fault, it's Appio's fault, it's the company's fault. No, you have to literally look in the mirror all day and be like, this is on me. It all falls on you. Right? You're relying on a company to give you, a salary. As a salesman, you're going out and you're creating, your funds. You're creating how much money you want to make is really dictated all on you and how hard you want to put it and the time that you want to put in.
Yep.
And I mean, away from work, that's so important in life too. If you sit there all the time with that "woe is me" mentality, why is this happening to me? This isn't my fault. I don't deserve this. You really got to look inward and really analyze what you're doing and what you actually deserve. you deserve what you put out. You got to put out effort. You got to put out hard work. You got to put your best foot forward, like Corey says all the time, and it will come back to you. That is what you will deserve at that point. And it's just, like I said, it's great for the mentality. Once you realize why things are happening, you can actively change it. You have all the control as a human being. I know Frankie says it all the time. Human beings are special. Something special about us. We can just, as long as you execute, it will come back to you. You will be rewarded.
Why's the lion the king of the jungle, boys?
Couldn't agree more.
His mentality.
The brain.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. There's people bigger than him. People smarter than him.
Kobe, the Mamba
people
mentality.
faster than him. But it's his mentality that makes him the king of the jungle.
Absolutely.
So, mentality is definitely huge in life. In general, you need to be mentally strong.
Everything is freaking mental.
Everything's mental. I mean,
Everything is mental.
Life's a mental ball game. It's all your outlook on life. I mean, I just know when I think of bad things, more bad things happen. When I think of good things, more good things happen.
Could not agree more.
Yeah.
Manifest it.
Yes, sir.
It'll come to
The
you.
energy you
Even
put
down
out.
to
Yeah,
pain.
and I mean,
Pain is mental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at Goggins.
Yeah.
David,
that guy's an
Getting
animal.
sick. Getting sick's
Yep.
mental.
Boats and logs.
Yeah.
boats and logs.
Yeah.
I'm not getting sick.
Sleeping's
Getting better.
mental. I heard something today. It was like someone on Instagram where like sleeping's all a mental thing. It's not a physical thing. Your body's tired, right? You worked. It's a mental thing that's keeping you up. There's something that you're thinking of. Like you should be able to mentally shut down your body and say, "Hey, I'm
It's
done.
time."
We're done. I'm done thinking for the day. I'm going to sleep." You know what I mean? So everything in life's mental. It's a mental ball game, and it's you against yourself every single day. And something I like to tell the boys is, it's not the guy who finishes second is milliseconds away. Right? So that doesn't mean you got to get 1,000% better every day. You literally just need to get 1% better every day. That's 365 a year. You work 30 years. That's 3650% better, I think's the math. You know what I mean? But you guys get where I'm coming at.
The little steps. If
Yeah.
you're always staring at the
Those
first
small
step
wins
in fear,
add
you're not
up.
going to get to the top of the
It's like
staircase.
compounding interest. Like working hard is compounding interest. Like you're not going to get it from month one. You can't work till 8 p.m. one day and say, "Oh, I deserve to fund an extra deal," or even a full month, even let alone 6 months. There's no other thing that you should be doing from the age of 20 to 30 than honing your skills, working as many hours as possible, and creating a legacy for you and your family. There's nothing else for you to do. You were not put on this earth to do anything more than that.
Amen.
Yes,
It all
sir.
comes down to courage as well. Courage isn't not being afraid of doing something; it's being terrified and doing it anyway. Because, like you said, we have a very finite time on the earth. You might as well maximize it.
Yeah.
What else do you have to lose?
Take that chance.
Look stupid every day. Doesn't
Shoot that
matter. You're going
shot.
to learn. Yeah, shoot that shot. Kobe wouldn't be the best if he didn't
Make that call.
shoot that shot.
Talk to that woman. You know?
You never know.
You never know. You never know what
literally
might
never
happen.
know.
You never know.
Got to shoot the score.
Hey, Remy,
You got to
pick
shoot the
this.
score.
I want to run through that fucking door right now.
I'll run through that door with you
Yeah.
right now.
Speaking of that door, when Justin came in before, speaking of how intrigued he is by the office, he just heard the noise. He's like, "Is that ping pong in there?"
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock at night. Like, who's here playing ping
And
pong
that
right now?
could you imagine that 9 o'clock at night? That's just the environment that we brought here.
That's how you know,
we
creative.
have
No one
kids-
even wants to leave. That's how you
what
know.
I'm saying.
it's
You
not-
don't
Yeah.
want to leave. We have kids here till 9, 10 o'clock at night. I mean,
on the
you're
phone
making
playing
money. You're having
basketball,
fun, playing
I really
basketball.
wouldn't be
ping
surprised
pong,
if people came in right
hanging
now,
with your
yeah.
boys. I mean,
Really.
this is such an open environment. I mean,
It is. It's
It's
awesome.
nice after working 12 freaking hours. Sometimes I just gotta be like, "Yo, Tom, can we play a round of ping pong, man? I need 5 minutes. I need a 5-minute mental reset."
Yeah.
And then I go and I kick Tom's ass in ping pong.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Okay, let's have that nasty flick just to get it back over. Come on, man. You won by 2 points. I don't even hear it.
That's what it is. Win by 2.
Yeah, that's right.
One
I get
other,
1% better every day.
One other funny thing I want to bring up before we kind of wrap this one up, just another funny Justin story. So we were texting him about this. I'm like, "Yeah, come on."
Oh, my
God. Oh, no.
I didn't think we were gonna get into
Yeah,
it.
no,
no.
so I start off. I'm just gonna start off, and then one of you guys take it over. I'm like, "All right, man. It's tomorrow. Come by 8:30." He's like, "No problem. I'll see you there." And then one of you guys take over.
And I thought Justin, being the well prepared man he was, he's like, "Oh, let me stop by the office before they start their work day."
Yeah, I get some.
And get some
intel.
tips. Maybe talk to them about what we're gonna talk about later. Nope. He came at
I came
8:30
in
in the
hot.
morning.
I came in
Ready to
hot
go.
and
Thinking
ready.
that you would think-
And I walked through the door. I didn't see the lights or the seat set up. I'm like, oh,
Me
something's
and
wrong.
Frankie just sitting at our desk with the
Yeah.
computers working.
It was funny. It's like you said, no one walks in that room. I'm the only one who comes barging
Yeah,
in.
literally.
And Happy goes, "Hey, yeah, early." I'm like, "Interview?" You're like, "Nah." But it worked out. I live right here. It's like I'm close by.
What did you
so-
say too? What you said was the funniest part. It was like, what did you say again?
I say?
It was.
It was like no way you're doing this.
Oh yeah, no. I made a joke to Appio, and I was
my God,
like,
this was the
"Oh,
worst part.
it would be pretty funny if it was like 8:30 at night, right?" I had no idea, and then
Yeah.
he's like, no, it actually is. I'm so sorry.
here at
I'm
8:30
like,
in the
dude,
morning.
it takes a
12
lot.
hours later.
Yeah. It takes a lot to
thanks
get me.
for coming
Yeah,
back.
I would never
Thanks for
care.
coming
Hey,
back.
For you guys, I really would do a lot. You guys have been full
We
supporters of
appreciate
me, and
We
I'm full
appreciate you,
supporters of
Justin.
I
you
also
guys.
didn't know
All you
about
guys.
that, and then like an hour into work, it's like 10 o'clock now. Appio or Frankie looks over, he's like, "By the way, Justin came in at 8:30. Thinking
Yeah,
the podcast."
yeah, we didn't
I'm
even
like,
tell
"What?"
Grizz. We forgot.
But hey, we made it. We did
made
it.
it.
and
We're here.
That was an amazing podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. Episode 4 in the books. I mean,
Episode 4, guys.
About
we
it.
Lex
talk-
talked
we
about
talked-
it.
and we
to
sang
say the
about
least.
it, too.
We sang about it. You didn't
about
think you were gonna come on this show.
I did
and
not think I would be
execute.
singing.
You didn't think you
We
were gonna be
Lexicated.
singing.
Dancing.
Yeah,
We just
no.
did the national anthem.
Yeah,
What
man.
the hell?
Yeah,
I know
man.
there's probably someone playing ping pong.
Yes,
back there.
sir. Very
Lexington
patriotic
Capital.
moment.
They're the
Lexington
real
Capital.
deal.
Yes,
Before
sir.
we
9:45
do,
tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll be here bright and early for the national anthem.
9:43.
You should-
latest.
you
I'm
should. It's a
coming with
great
the
time.
American flag.
We need one.
before we do wrap this
Need a
up, Justin,
bigger
is there
one.
anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to plug? Business
Shout
event?
out.
Anything like that?
Shout out to my team, the O'Neill team. Shout out to the best real estate company on Long Island, Signature Premier Properties. They're really outdoing all the big companies, Douglas Elliman, Coldwell Banker. There's nothing like them in the family. So
Ooh,
shout
I
out
like
to
that.
myself.
Say it with
Out.
your
Yeah,
chest.
say
Say it
it
with your
out.
chest.
Amazing
Yes,
company,
sir.
Baby.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
And shout out to these guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Shout out
anytime.
to yourself, Justin
Yes.
Soriano, Real Estate, Elite
Yes.
Property Management.
Yep.
Go to this guy. He's one
And
of the
North
most
Shore Young
knowledgeable
Professionals,
guys.
yes.
Yes,
North
sir.
Shore Young Professionals. Check out his North Shore Young Professionals page. Check out the stuff that he's done, the accomplishments this man has made.
Yeah, and if you're an entrepreneur and you want to get posted on our page, reach out, send me a DM. Be happy to help and promote you any way I can.
I think Lex is gonna need a shout out after
Yeah.
I think you guys got a couple, but I'll give you another.
Appreciate that.
Appio's Consulting Corp, man.
Got you.
Lex out, everybody.
Lex
Lex
out.
out.
Thank
Have a great
you.
day.
Good stuff.
Great job, boys. Great job. Great freaking job.